So they've gone through a visit, you've given them expectations, they have a goal in mind, you've talked about that. Let's go to the second um, visit, or third or fourth, and help me understand what happens in the background after they leave, the things you go through, and what you do to, one, reach their goals, and two, it sounds like you're asking them to be a strong participant in their own health. So walk me through that with them from second visit onward.
Right, I'm there to help them get healthier, help them get right, but if they don't participate, it's not gonna get better. So I tell them that, okay, there's certain things you're gonna have to do also. And each visit I'll ask them, okay, what's going on? We start with this objective, what they're feeling, how their pain is, been since the first visit. Usually I expect them to feel a little bit better after the first visit, but then get kind of sore because the muscles aren't used to being worked that way, aren't moving not used to moving the way they should be. As we re-educate them and break up that scar tissue, they're going to get tender. So we're going to talk about that and see what their subjective complaints are that day. And then we're going to get them to objective, which is what I feel, and see what they're doing. So I'll assess their range of motion, how the muscles feel, and make specific notes. When I work with ART, there are like over 200 separate protocols. So I'll write down which protocols I used and what muscles I worked on. So it's very specific, so I can assess, okay, last time I worked this one, see how it's feeling today, as opposed to just, I worked the upper back and stuff. So it works that way that I can get really specific on there. And then I will get the assessment as to how their progress is going. And with that, I'll see, are they 10% better, 20% better, and kind of keep them on par to see like they go on there. So I have a note right here with my soap note that I circle everything, I adjust, I go there and I write down, so I keep track of it and check it every time I treat a new patient or next patient and stuff to see where they were last time, so I can compare and see how they're doing. And then the next one is plan and procedure as to what exactly I did, where it's going, where I need to see them next time and stuff. And it's talking about why we're doing what we're doing. And by having that, I can explain to them that, okay, this is where we were, this is where we are, and this is where we need to be. I've had people numerous times come to me and say, after a certain amount of visits, that I'm not really feeling that much better. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's like I have in my notes here that I can see that my assessment is that you're, 80% better. And they're like, well, really? Because they'll have a shoulder problem, for instance. I said, I've had several people that tell me, I still can't lift my arm all the way over my head, even though I've been here, half a dozen times. And I'm like, well, when I check my notes, originally they can move their arm, 10 degrees off their body, so right here. And after 6 treatments, they're up here, but they still have a little pain right here. Well, I said, well, you went from here to here, and it's not severe pain anymore, but it still clicks or has some pain in there. That's way better. And people don't always realize that, this is a proven process that it's going to get better. It just takes time. And each one is incremental. Like, very few people go from here to here in a couple visits. You have to re-educate the muscles. Some of this stuff has been damaged for a long time, and the re-education process takes a little bit of time when it needs to heal.